Hey guys, it's Skybird, and today we're going to be talking a little more about the Bara Magna expansion project that I've been working on, and we're going to pay particular attention, specific attention, to the Glatorian sets themselves, because these are essentially our sky pirates, right? The theme, the vibe that we're going for here is leaning into the dinosaurs, leaning into the sky pirate vibe that I have found so exciting about this project, and also, of course, the steampunk vibe, the gladiator vibe, and Mad Max type vibes as well. We're trying to balance all of these things, but give a little bit more life to Bar Magna. You've probably already found this out if you watched any of my other videos, but if you do enjoy this content, make sure you're subscribed. It really does help out the channel. And of course, let's get right on into it. So we're actually going to take a look in Studio very quickly, specifically at the Jungle Pirate, the design that I'm working on for this one as well, and do this one first, and then we'll look at all the others. And I want to pay particular attention to sort of what sets these characters apart from what we had gotten from Bionicle before, right? The thing that I think is the hardest part about this is designing the characters in compelling ways without introducing too many recolors as to be unreasonable in terms of budgeting, right? But also while still honoring the fact that these are pirate adjacent characters, right? And I think one of the things to really understand about like pirate culture, I guess, or just the cliches, the tropes that we see in a lot of pirate fictions, right? Depictions of these characters as well, is a sort of asymmetry inherent to the culture of pirate characters, right? You have the obvious stuff like the hook hand, the peg leg, maybe a cape or something that comes off of one side, funny hats that face whatever direction, and crazy facial hair. That's all well and good, but we also have things like balancing muted colors and more boisterous colors, something that's a little bit brighter, or at the very least in a different direction from the base color of these sets. So you will see some pretty wild color schemes in here, and that is in part intentional, but I'd always like your opinion. Let's get right on into it. So here we're actually looking at just the jungle pirate here. He doesn't have a name just yet, and I'm pretty happy with the design of the character overall. Granted, it is a lot of pieces. It is 74 pieces, give or take. Surely one extra one is in there that could go somewhere else. But this character, the reason he has so many pieces is to balance him out, to do something very specific. The main issue with asymmetry in characters is that it leaves you with loose ends, if you want to call it that, right? If I wanted, for example, to build a character using these pieces, it's much better to have a pair of pieces than just one. And that's because, you know, often humanoid characters have a left and a right side. So if I have something like the Anika shoulder pad being recolored here for the first time in dark green, how do I offer a second of those in this set so that you get two of them for your own building purposes? Well, one way to do that is to include the armor on the inside here. It spruces up the build a little bit more because it offers something different, something we hadn't seen. And of course, you can see the Stronius armor just in front of that here. So it's mostly hidden, but it's just one extra piece, allowing you the capabilities of essentially experimenting with this piece with your own collection, because at the end of the day, Bionicle sets are designed to be built and rebuilt, designed to be added to your parts collection. And whereas something like this Anika knee pad doesn't have to come with two in this set because you can get them in multiple other sets, the shoulder pad would be exclusive to this one. So why would you just want one? Does that make sense? That's also why you'll only see one Roxy leg in this set rather than two. Leaning into that sort of peg leg design, which, yeah, I didn't want to do all the tropes on one character, but I think it balances out pretty well here. That peg leg design means that we're opting for a shorter joint in one of the legs here, right? So I chose a color that all of these joints are already available in, like dark red or maybe Keat orange, both of which work quite well, but also means that I don't have to waste recolors on these parts, right? And because this is a jungle character, you can sort of see the reds, whether it is bright red, dark red, Keat orange as mentioned, or some other color as well. You can almost see these as maybe floral touches or fruit notes, you know, because fruit and flowers often aren't green. They want to stand out from the character or the plant, in this case, that they're on, right? Along with that, we also have a proprietary foot build that I came up with quite a while ago for my sand build for a different thing entirely, but you can see that we include a second claw back here. If there was one piece that I was going to maybe take off of this set or move around, it'd probably be this one because it just feels a little bit more forced than the rest, though there are definitely other places I can add it. So if we look at all of the pieces this character comes with overall in terms of new parts, it's 19 pieces. That is a lot. But if we take a look at a car, this set right here has 18 pieces, right? Now, in terms of unique pieces, there might be more in this one overall. But you can see we have like 4 of these shoulder pads, for example. We have 4 of these swords on a car. We have 2 of the ankle guards here. We have 2 of the ankle guards here. And some of these pieces, although I separated them by recolors up top and exclusive pieces on the bottom, several of these are still wave exclusive, meaning that they'll show up other places in the wave. Like these Stronius armor pieces are worn by at least one other character. These pieces are worn by several other characters as well, and credit to Uggins, the designer of this piece. I do want to modify this one a bit in the future to fit some of my own needs, but it's a great start for a piece like this. And in general, I think it's important to try and balance these things. So we're going to go ahead and head on over into the actual file with the pirates so far. Just 6 of them so far. I don't have all 9 designed just yet, as you already know, but I do have some color schemes at least kind of sorted out a bit for those other characters as well. We have fire, we have jungle, water, rock, then we have, or not rock, which one is this? Is this stone? No, yeah, I guess it would be rock, yeah. Because sand is elsewhere. This one is earth. This one is ice. And you can see in terms of color schemes here, I think it's getting a little bit better. It's getting a little more balanced. Yes, you see the character over here with these wild orange limbs, but part of the reason for that is the use of those new colors for support. One of the other things I want to do here is support colors that we saw a lot of, but not enough of. Does that make sense? And so colors like medium blue, which was introduced on Kina's set with 2 very major pieces, the Inika foot and the Vaki leg. You can see we get another foot in this set here as well in that medium blue color, which is great. Is it appropriate to do medium blue for something like this rather than some other piece on the set? I don't know. We already got a medium blue foot, so it may not be important to do another medium blue foot, but this can be used as armor as well. So I can definitely make some room for it, some excuses for it. And the same is also true here for the orange as well. We have no orange limbs from Bionicle, at least not in the sense of having the type of ball connection that the Vaki legs, the Rakshi legs, that kind of stuff have, right? Avmatoran would get them, sure. Toa Mata and Toa Nuva would get them. But really elsewhere, we're lacking orange completely, which is sad because we have so many other orange pieces, armor, as you saw on a car, feet pieces, etc., right? So lacking these joints means that you can't build like a full figure in orange if you wanted to, right? And that makes things a little bit more limiting. So having this here in the orange color, I think does work. Now, none of these characters have terribly exciting torso builds yet, but at least one of them will get a custom torso. That's something that I think the Glatorian Legends kind of missed out on as well. Kina has a really fun and cool torso build, even if it's still relatively standard overall. But all of the other ones are pretty straightforward, even when they try to do something different like Vastus, which I think kind of misses the mark entirely. That said, though, I think the fire build here looks just fine. Jungle, I think, is looking pretty good. Some people might disagree with the red. I do like red and green as a combination, especially with Keat Orange as well. So, I mean, there's the potential of even getting like Keat Orange on the top here. But I also want to make sure that these helmets are as universally reusable as possible. The helmets that you see here are just filler, right? They're to get the idea across of what helmets these characters are going to wear, or somewhat the aesthetic of the helmets, but they are not the helmets they're actually going to wear. So this isn't going to be a recolor of Gelu, most likely. I'm not opposed to recoloring helmets. I think this one looks excellent in the dark blue, medium blue. And of course, that always saves in terms of budgeting. And if you have 9 Glatorian, budgeting might be something that's important, right? But at the end of the day, I still think it's really important to make sure that each of these characters are individual, feel different from each other, right? You have the heavy use of gold on the water character here as well, which I could definitely see being some other color. In fact, I'll go ahead and test it with gunmetal just to see how it looks, which I think looks pretty good, actually. Gunmetal and gold are going to make a much heavier appearance in this wave overall, because again, this is about like pirates, right? And so I think mixed metals are really important when trying to get that vibe, especially when you use multiple different colors metallic colors on a single character. It's hard to balance it though, so it's definitely something I have to play around with more and try to kind of get used to, if I like the idea of it or not. So definitely some interesting stuff going on here for sure, but I'm really happy with progress as it stands so far. I'm going to continue to hammer these guys out too, make sure that I really like all of them, that they each feel individual and offer something unique. Remember that each one of these would also be paired with a cape of some kind, so the jungle character would very likely have a cape matching that dark red color scheme, or even if I change the color of those joints, maybe still getting that dark red. If those joints end up being Keat orange and he gets a dark red cape, I think that really leans into the jungle aesthetic even more, right? So I really like the concept of this. A lot of people had suggested maybe browns and stuff with jungle. I didn't really care for them personally, but you know, it's all about experimenting. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel. As mentioned, we nearing 1,900 subscribers, so thank you all for that so much. It's been a wonderful journey so far, and we'll continue that well into 2024. And hopefully I wake up a little more and feel a little bit better. I've still got a bit of a sore throat, but I'm working through it anyway. Who cares, right? And of course, as always, you can check out and join the conversation in Discord, Instagram, in the comments, or in Patreon, which you can check out all of those in the description below, or of course the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.